I have never felt so validated as a fan than I do with these new Pacific Rim figures. These are incredible. Let's open them up, check them out, and of course do some toy photography.
Pacific Rim. What do you think about Pacific Rim? In my opinion, it's really one of the coolest and original things that has come out in the last 20 years or so. When this movie came out in 2013, I was so captivated by it. I absolutely fell in love with the dark, moody, real tangible feeling tone of the movies, and it just, I fell in love with it. A lot of people might just say, oh, that movie with robots and monsters? Well, yes, you wouldn't be wrong. I guess you're right. But I would say it's more to defeat monsters, we created monsters of our own, right? I think that's what it was. Something like that.
To fight monsters, we created monsters of our own.
And I'm so incredibly happy. We've got new figures, but you know, NECA came out with a bunch of Pacific Rim figures back in the day, like a lot of them, and I collected almost every single one of them, and Bandai did too, actually. And you know, I was never truly really satisfied with them. I was never 100,000,000% happy with them. They weren't perfect, and eventually I ended up selling my entire collection, almost, except for a couple things, and I sold it all. I needed space. I regretted it for a little bit, but now I don't regret it because we've got a new brand putting out Pacific Rim figures that I think are gonna be way better, called Ling Jihun. I've never heard of them. Apparently they do Pacific Rim. They also do some Ninja Turtle stuff as well, but it really seems like Ling Jihun is doing Pacific Rim right by these figures. And it's not just Crimson Typhoon and Gypsy Danger. We've got Gypsy Avenger coming from the sequel, and we've got, I think, Cherno Alpha, and even some kaiju are coming, like Leatherback has already been revealed. And I'm ready to collect them all again and go back. Sorry, NECA, I think Ling Jihun has taken over the Pacific Rim world, and I'm so happy, so happy. So these figures were actually sent over to me by the really wonderful people over at CalcusToy.com. You've heard me talking about Calcus before on this channel because they're amazing. They have a great selection of a lot of kind of monster related stuff, lots of Godzilla, Pacific Rim too, and they're also just really great people. They're definitely a store you need to keep on your list when you're going to pre-order and get figures. If you need Godzilla, if you need Transformers, pick it up at Calcus. Keep it on your list. I highly recommend Calcus, and I'm grateful. Calcus, thank you so much for sending these figures over. Head to the link in the description. I've got it down there. Get yourself some Pacific Rim Jaegers, for goodness sake. I haven't even opened these guys up, and I can already tell that it looks like Ling Jihun is doing justice to Pacific Rim. Just the detail on the packaging alone is so cool. Like, look at the stickers. Look at these cool stickers they have to close it up. Like, that's so incredibly cool, and the packaging is so cool. Like, we got the blueprints over here. We've got the Crimson Typhoon logo and stuff. And these classic movie posters of each, Jaeger design is the perfect way, I think, to make the packaging for these. So thank you, Ling Jihun. Well, hopefully, I guess I could open them up and they could totally suck, but I have a feeling they won't. So how did you feel about the Pacific Rim sequel, Uprising? It wasn't horrible. To be honest, I think I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters. But there are some good things to come out of it. I liked Gypsy Avenger, I liked Obsidian Fury. They were awesome. There was some potential, but it was nowhere near the original, unfortunately. But the anime was good, and apparently there's a live-action Netflix series coming. Like, it's right on the official Pacific Rim Twitter. It says it, and I'm pumped for that. Just give me all the Pacific Rim I can get. Maybe this is the new Pacific Rim Renaissance we've been waiting for. I don't know. Dude, oh my gosh. I need to use the right words to describe these things, and I'm sorry for my younger audience. These are fucking incredible. I cannot. These are cooler and more beautiful than I even had imagined. Like, I haven't even done anything with them yet. They look absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. And they both are so different from each other too. Like, so Crimson Typhoon, they both have this beautiful metallic paint on it, which is just, oh my God. But Gypsy is so crispy clean and brand new, but Crimson Typhoon is not. She's got a different kind of texture to it and a lot of battle damage and weathering, and it's just, wow. Detail is wild, absolutely wild on both of them. One thing I noticed right off the bat when I took Crimson Typhoon out, it feels like a premium product. It really does. And there was no problem getting him to stand because he's got those chicken kind of legs, you know what I mean, with the knees. And I always had problems standing up the NECA one, always, even from the beginning. And eventually it just stopped being able to hold itself up. But this, not at all, just boom, standing, beautiful, just like a tank or a Jaeger, ready to cancel the apocalypse. I'm so happy right now. Like, just look at these things. Just look at them. Ugh. So there is a ton of stuff to get into here with accessories and batteries and all kinds of great stuff these things come with. Just gonna start out with Crimson Typhoon. Take it one step at a time. What do you say? Okay, Crimson Typhoon. Man, this guy is just beautiful from head to toe to fingers and 3 arms. Like, all of the joints with this guy are like the most high quality feeling joints I've ever seen. Like, when you bend them, you get this sound, and sometimes you hear that and you'll think, oh, that's just the sound of like the joints having too much pressure and they're slowly bending themselves and not twisting right. But no, that's making that noise because of these rigid little thingies in the joints, and it just feels so good. Like, I've had a lot of those NECA Pacific Rim figures break on me because of the joints just not really being, I don't know. And this is not that. Like, it's just, I feel good moving them, and everything that I would want to move moves. You know, I've got joints here, and if you look here on this little knee joint, it's a little hydraulic little looking thing, and that is just so incredibly cool. And he stands up so well, the feet move nicely. God. And this big shoulder pad, you got multiple joints up in the shoulder. This is such a high quality figure. I was really wondering if these were gonna be die cast because they look like they could be. Like, they kind of look like it's a die cast figure, right? It's not, but it's just a really, I don't know, quality plastic or what. It's very heavy still. He's still very heavy, you know? Like, don't feel disappointed thinking, man, these should have been die cast. You can get that thundercloud formation, right? That's what it's called, right? And if you get like all up close here, like on the legs and all the markings, and the detail is just mind-blowing, and it just makes me so happy. Absolutely wild with this figure. Of all of the figures that are usually around this price range, this, I see where that money's going. You know, like, I see totally where that money is going. Also, this little hand here, all of his little fingers move. Like, how cool is that? I just cannot get over how satisfying this noise is. So, speaking of thundercloud formation, he comes with 3 different other hands. He's got one for the big hand, and then he's got 2 other blade spinning smaller hand thingies. So let's go do a quick change. I imagine just pop that out, right? Very nice, beautiful. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. All right, now he is officially in the thundercloud formation. We've got some spinny blades up in here, which are looking pretty cool. And then we've got a big spinny blade right there. And you still got that articulation and everything. Listen to that. Oh, God, so cool. And yeah, like I said, it makes me happy knowing that I can switch hands without being scared, you know? So you know how I love my destructions, and we've got some destructions right here. I'm very happy about that. They are 100% in Chinese. There's a QR code on there, but it looks pretty straightforward.
一定要以这个黑色的为中心，打竖平整的放进去。
So you can pop out the back to put in a battery, and you can pop out his face to put in a battery, and get some lights going on. How freaking cool is that? And you know what's even cooler, and which is already like, this figure is a W. I mean, obviously it is, but this freaking action figure already comes with the batteries. Now that is a rare instance. Like, most of the time it's just like, you need this battery, go buy it. Okay, thanks. But no, it comes with it, and it comes with extras. It comes with multiples. Like, how amazing is that? I'm so impressed. All right, I'm gonna pop these batteries in the front and back, and let's see how the lights look on this guy. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've got the batteries in, and the light is looking really great in the face, if you look at that. And what I've realized is, like, right when you put the batteries in, the light turns on. There's no way to turn it on or off. There's no toggle. It's just when the battery's in, the light's on. So if you want the lights on, you gotta put the batteries in. If you wanna turn them off, you gotta take the batteries out, which isn't entirely very convenient at all. That kind of stinks, but oh well. But I wasn't able to get these lights to turn on. The battery just is in correctly and the lights just won't turn on. I don't know what I did wrong. So I'm hoping maybe I can fiddle with it and get it to turn on, but if not, I guess I don't have any lights for the video. So far, the only downside, but it does come with, you know, some rocket boosters to put back there. Kind of neat. So always good to have some cool rocket effects, which, man, I feel like this would look really cool if the lights were working, but oh well. Okay, and here is Gypsy. Man, like, this guy is just like so beautiful. I'm so happy to have this guy. He looks absolutely amazing. Does he have the same clickies? You got a little bit of clicky. Ooh, see that? Look at his chest. When I move his arm, his chest has that little thingy that moves. That is so cool. Oh, what an incredible tiny little effect. Like, so not necessary, but it's just so cool. We've got some clickies in the leg. And more of those hydraulics, just like on the other. I love that. That looks just so good. The joints still feel really good. They feel nice when I move them around. Oh, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Wow, and you can maneuver the elbow pads enough to get like a full T-pose with him. That is just incredible. And the head moves pretty decently. The NECA ones, I remember just the head had a joint, but it like was totally pointless. You couldn't like move it like at all. Not a whole lot of elbow articulation. Wow, the hand movement is great. Nice, okay. But you've got almost, I don't know, would you say that's 90 degrees? But man, the detail, just like on Crimson Typhoon, is just as present here with Gypsy, but it's a little different because he's not really battle damaged. He's just shiny and beautiful and glistening, but all of the cool little details, like the little bombshell girl on the chest is right there. So incredibly good, and it feels good too, just like him, and he has no problem standing. You've got joints in the foot there. This is just so good. I'm sorry I'm just like swooning over this thing, but I'm just really happy. For accessories, you've got a lot of stuff with Gypsy.
Both plasma cannons are shot! We're out of options, Mako!
No! まだ方法が残ってる Sword.
So you've got the two sword arm thingies, which are not just like a sword you stick in there. You actually detach what looks like an entire piece of the arm. There we go. There he goes. You gotta kind of put a little bit of force into, when you're pushing them back in there, you gotta kind of put a little bit of force in there, but they look awesome. Wow, that looks so great. So happy with how that looks. That's awesome. He's also got two plasma cannon arms, two of them, which is pretty dang cool. And these things are super just high quality looking, and on him, they look awesome too, like really good. And you can detach the blast itself, so if you just want to have an open, ready to go arm on there too, you can have that, which actually is pretty awesome. And we do have a little elbow rocket. Like, how cool is that?
Elbow rocket!
Elbow rocket engaged.
Now!
I don't think any of the NECA ones came with an elbow rocket. Just stick that right back in there like that, and there he goes. Elbow rocket. So freaking cool. We've got a decent amount of hands for Gypsy too. We've got the fist he's already got on, along with open hands, some grabby hands, and a hand specifically to hold the big, you know, Titanic ship looking thing that he whacks Otachi with. So it's great to have all those hands, and they look like pretty high quality looking hands too. The joints on there look good and everything. So if you switch to these grabby hands, you can put these storage shipping containers in his hands. You know, the ones that he like smacks Leatherface with. You can just stick those in there. I'm just realizing, did I just say Leatherface? Well, I meant to say leather back. Awesome. There he goes. Ah, so good. And here he is with the big freighter ship, about to smack Otachi with it. It looks great. It's looks so good. Fits right into that special hand there. Amazing. Brilliant. So according to these destructions, you pop off Gypsy Danger's back, unscrew it, and put in the batteries, and that will power his chest to light up. And then the ship itself will actually be a little thing to turn it on and off. It's like a magnet kind of touch operation. So that's awesome. Okay, batteries are in. So this is my little remote, and I think I just tap the back. Ah, there it goes. Hang on, I got so many lights going on, hang on. There we go. It's not crazy bright. It's not, honestly, it's not crazy not bright either. I think it looks pretty good. Using this to turn it on and off is pretty stinking cool. That definitely is an improvement on Crimson Typhoon, that's for sure. What a wonderful figure. Okay, so these guys are pretty tall. They are, let's see, they're about almost 8 inches. Crimson Typhoon's almost 8 inches, and Gypsy's a little over 7. Pretty big figures, to be honest. I think it's a great size. I'm really curious to see how they scale with Godzilla. Hopefully they scale. I really want to see. Okay, and here is the difference between the NECA and the Ling Jihun. And it's just night and day. Like everything about it, like the detail, obviously, and the color is just like, this color is just so much better. Like this makes me think, like, what were they thinking with the color? Yeah, everything is just better. Everything. There's nothing that's not better. But I mean, the price of the NECA figures was around $40, and this is, you know, around 100 or a little less, depending. That's one thing. These nowadays are definitely not 40, so you're gonna be paying close to the same price right now, so that's something. If you're a Pacific Rim fan and you just want a really good version of these characters, now you finally have it. And just seeing them side by side like this just makes you think, wow. And here they are compared to the Haya Godzilla. Exquisite, basic, whatever. This is kind of like a basic representation of the Haya Godzilla. I do have the newer version, actually from Calcus, that I'm gonna open up and do a video for soon. The newer sculpt and everything. They scale close. I feel like they're a little bit off. I feel like Godzilla would be a little bit bigger compared to them. I feel like if these were like an inch, maybe shorter, then they would be scaling perfectly, but they're not quite scaling perfectly. That's a little disappointing. But it's not a deal breaker. They're close. Oh well, we can't have our cake and eat it too, I guess. They're close enough. Okay, so what are we giving them, a W or are we giving them an L? If you're a Pacific Rim fan, these are so wonderful. Like, these are the ultimate, here you go. This is what you've always wanted. At least in my opinion, they're huge W's. They're huge, incredible W's. Even if you're not a fan of Pacific Rim, you would look at these and be like, wow, these are pretty cool. Like, these are good looking figures. I think they're worth the price, and I see where all the money goes to, considering all of the ridiculous detail in the sculpt and how functional everything is and how quality everything is in the joints and everything. Plus they light up, they come with good stuff. Like, I see where everything goes. Total W. But what do you think? Are they a W? Are they an L? Are they an M? Do you like Pacific Rim at all? Do you think this is dumb? Or do you think it's the coolest thing ever like I do? Because these are huge, stinking, friggin' W's. So I think I want to take a photo with Gypsy, and I'm not sure yet. It's still, unfortunately, snowy, freezing cold everywhere for the, you know, that's just the way New York is. I would love to do something outside, but I might do something indoors with some buildings, or maybe I will do something outdoors with some trees. I'm not really sure, but I'm definitely gonna do, I think, just a shot with Gypsy, like a hero kind of photo. It's a shooting and reviewing video, so let's go. Alright, well, here we are. I've got myself set up, and I'm not holding my camera while I'm doing this for once. But anyway, I've got it all set up, and I'm in this spot, the same place where I took my pooping Godzilla photo. And you're right, I probably could have just done this inside. I didn't have to do all this crazy crap coming here at night, whatever. But I like coming here because I have a really totally wide open space of pavement so I can get as wide of a shot as I want, and I'm not restricted by the small amount of space I have in my house. It's kind of fun, and I like that this is at like waist level for me, which is really cool. And there's actually no snow on here. Yes, thank you. So let me show you how I've got everything all set up with Gypsy right here. So Gypsy Danger is walking towards the camera, and we've got buildings and lights and stuff all over the place. If you want to know where to get buildings like this, I did a whole video on all of these different brands with links and how to get them, so make sure to check that out. I'll have it linked in the description, all that stuff, but I've kind of set them all up, hopefully in a way that looks pretty good. And I've also got some lighting set up in different places too, to hopefully also make it look good. Like some buildings are illuminated. I've got some old Lume Cube Airs underneath these. And of course, these are made by Lume Cube. All the gear I'm using, camera, it's all linked in the video description, as it always is. So I hopefully think it will look pretty good. But I'm also going to move some things around and take different shots and combine them together. So for instance, this building here, I'm gonna take a shot with it over here, and then a shot with it over here, and then over here. So then I can kind of make the most with what I've got. And I'll do the same thing with the lighting too. I also had this blue light over here with the red, and I think hopefully we'll be able to add it all together and it'll look pretty good. I've also got my little pirate ship, whatever ship, to turn on Gypsy's lights. Oh, the lights are already on, sorry. But, and that's really my entire shot. I'm not gonna do any effects or any water or anything like that. That's all it's gonna be. So my settings for the shot right now are at 60. My shutter speed's at 60, very slow. It's pretty dark, so I don't need anything crazy going on. My aperture is at 3.2. It's a little bit higher than usual, but I did want to get, you know, as many buildings and stuff in screen as possible, but still having it nice and blurred out in the background. And then my ISO is at 400, as it always is, which I don't like to mess with that because sometimes I can get some, you know, especially with low light like this, I can get some visual noise, distortion, and that's why I usually leave it at a low number like 400. So I'm going to be using my remote, as always, to take the shot, and I think I'm pretty good to take it, so let's go and do it. I honestly don't think I could be a whole lot more happy with these figures than I am. They really are like the perfect Pacific Rim figures. Yeah, the light didn't work on one of them, which was a bummer, but still, all of the pros outweigh the only con, really. And it makes me excited for the next figures, or just for Ling Jihun in general. Like, I can't wait to see what other figures they put out. But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo will be posted up on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you want to follow my work on any of those platforms, the links are all in the video description. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video, getting this far into the video, and making it a part of your day. And I really hope to see you in the next video.